The 3 episode premiere of Star Wars Andor on Disney Plus was really good. It was something slightly different for Star Wars, especially Star Wars shows that we've been getting on Disney Plus, where, let's face it, the Book of Boba Fett was basically just another season of The Mandalorian, especially by the end of it. But Andor is definitely something distinct within the Star Wars universe. It fits somewhere in the timeline, but it feels like it really does have its own story to tell. It's not directly connected to any of the main movies. It's obviously connected to Rogue One, because for anyone who needs a fill-in on what exactly this series is, Cassian Andor, played by Diego Luna, was one of the characters in Star Wars Rogue One, which takes place right before Star Wars A New Hope. Cassian Andor takes place about, at least these first couple episodes take place about 5 years before that. So the series is following what leads this person who's lived on the fringes of the Empire or the Republic for his whole life and never agreed with it, but what leads him to join the rebellion, what causes the rebellion to begin to spark in the Star Wars universe. It's a show about what leads a people to revolution underneath a fascist regime. At least that's what it seems like it is so far with the first 3 episodes and kind of things that they've talked about in teasers and promos and stuff like that. So it's really interesting, and you can tell that it's has a distinct vision. Tony Gilroy, who wrote and directed the Rogue One movie, came back to write this series, and I think direct a couple of the episodes as well, though he didn't direct these first 3. But it's very definitively a story told by a person, and he has not been shy in interviews in that he didn't grow up with Star Wars. He's like fine with it, but he doesn't hold it sacred. And he's not going to be tossing in Easter eggs because he wants to just dump out his toy box and play with everything like Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau do in The Mandalorian, which I love that stuff. Don't get me wrong, I do. But it's really, really refreshing to just see something new and fresh in the Star Wars universe. Not to mention, this whole series is shot, it looks beautiful. It looks beautiful. The sets are incredible, and the world that we start off on feels very lived in a way that a lot of other Star Wars things don't. For like even the cantina scene in A New Hope, all of the aliens there are very cool, and yeah, they all have their own things going on, and it's been lots of fun in the 40 plus years afterwards to give them all their own backstories, but for the purposes of that movie, they're all strange aliens sitting in a bar drinking. All of the characters in Andor really feel like they have their own story going on, their own lives that they're leading outside of just what Cassian's up to. And even Cassian, he's not just up to the main plot stuff as he's going around and trying to do the thing that he is forced to do because of the opening scenes of the first episode. I'm trying not to get into spoilers. As he's going around trying to cover up a mistake that he made, he's also dealing with people who he runs into on the street who are like, hey, you owe me money, where's my money? So while he's covering up this thing, he's also continuing on with what he was going to be doing in his normal life anyway, where he's got this valuable item and he's trying to find a place to sell it. And those, it kind of sounds like a boring plot, but all of the interactions between the characters, while it is a very personal story and it's very grounded, the stakes are important for Cassian, our main character, and for some of the other characters that we are introduced to on this planet that he's living on. I really dig the first 3 episodes. I think that there is a lot of potential for the series going forward. And I also think that it was a smart decision for Disney to release the first 3 episodes at once, because it really lets you set the expectation for the pace of this series. These 3 episodes are one whole plot of their own. The end of one episode is kind of just like on a nice shot, on a beautiful like image, but it's very like, oh, that's the end of the story for now. It's not. All of these 3 episodes make one mini movie almost, though not with movie budget, but it still looks really good. So I think it was a smart idea for them to release 3 episodes at once so we could see, okay, so this series is going to be like slow builds. There's not action in every episode, but there is action at the conclusion of this 3-episode arc. And I think that's the way that they're going to do the series going forward. There's going to be 2 seasons. Each season has 12 episodes. And in those 12 episodes, they're going to do like 3-episode arcs. And I think each arc is like directed by a different person. So it's a really cool setup. And I think the way that this series is structured, the way that I understand it, the first season is going to be all within 1 year, the first year of Cassian like joining the rebellion, and then the second season, each of the arcs is going to be like another year, moving up to filling up the 5-year gap between the start of this series and Rogue One. So yeah, we're going to get to follow the progression of this character throughout there, and I'm really interested to see where all of this goes, what other stories they're able to tell. But yeah, if you haven't checked out Andor, I highly recommend it if you're a fan of Star Wars, or even if you're not, because the creator of the series is not a huge fan of Star Wars. He just had a story that he wanted to tell about what leads a people to revolution, and I think so far he's doing it very well. Well, thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed some of my thoughts. Let me know some of yours down in the comments below. Like this video if you want to see me continue to follow Andor. Subscribe if you want to see a bunch of the other series that I'm currently covering, like The Rings of Power, House of the Dragon, Star Wars Lower Decks. Loosely, I'm kind of doing like episodes of Star Trek connected to what they're doing, but all fun stuff. Thank you so much for watching, and have a good week.